So what's the question?
Why did he leave? He was in a winning situation in New England.
It doesn't matter how much talent you have if you throw interception returns for touchdowns, so.
He's 43 years old. Maybe it's some concern because he ain't in the AFC East no more.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Okay, so sorry we're about 4 minutes late, but you know, it's it happens sometimes. So let's see. I usually give an intro to the show normally to give everyone time to get on. So I'm just gonna wait like 2 minutes. We're gonna sit here wait 2 minutes before I really start losing my mind, okay? Because I can certain you guys know that I have a lot of crap to talk about tonight. So let's see. Zach's back. Tyree, hey, what's Tyree? My dad, hey dad. Dave 98, nice to see you. See it twice is here. Daniel, Lucas, Topaz Fox, nice to see you again, man. And Luke R, how you doing? Okay.
More people signing in?
Yeah, I'm just going to give them a second to get on here.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys have seen some of the Brady hate going on. It's out of control. It's bad. It's bad. It's actually very well. I don't have anything to compare it to because I've never seen anyone hated as much as Tom Brady, and it's very, very shocking. But it's not just Tom we have to talk about tonight. We have other games as well. We have Addie's Browns getting the job done Thursday night, so I'm gonna have to make sure we recognize Addie, and I'm gonna have to brag a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers. First of all, for everyone telling me that I was crazy for picking them and saying that they could be the dark horse going to the Super Bowl. But they look pretty good against the Giants, but it's week 1, so who cares, right? It doesn't mean anything. Next week they could completely suck. So we just don't know enough about what's been going on. So I'm sorry, we don't know enough about the teams themselves and what's been going on in their training camp and things like that because they kept the training camp secret and most of it anyway, and then they were separated so much, and then they were out of routine, and then they had no preseason. So like Tom Brady said the other night, he said on the Saints game, he said it's a script. Okay, it's all a script right now because they have a certain of plays that they want to see it work out, right? So
it's like theory.
Normally they would have like a certain set of plays at the beginning, and then they would start to change it along with the game. But because they had no preseason, they had to stick to a certain script of the plays longer than they would like to.
Right.
And that was some of the problem. And you could see that was a problem as well because these guys only had a certain amount of plays that they really, really were confident in. And normally that is what's done in preseason is that you go out there and each preseason week you do a set of plays, and then the next week you work on another set and another set and another set, and by the time the season starts, you've got the whole playbook to go off of. Well, that's basically what week 1 was week 1 and week 2 and week 3 of preseason all crammed into one game. And that's going to be a lot of crap, right? Jamari Huncho, welcome, man. I've never seen you here before. Love seeing new people as well. It's always great. Yeah. Welcome. If you're new here tonight, you'll find out something about all of us. We're a very tight-knit group. Everybody tends to know each other, and we talk a lot of junk here, though. So
yeah. So make sure to subscribe and participate in the chat or.
Okay. Yeah, just
microphone.
Yeah. Neema Sanders is here. Hey, how's it going? Dennerling, all the way from Germany. He's hardcore because, see, I'm in Bulgaria and it's 1:09 a.m. That means it's midnight for him. Or it's 11 or midnight for him in Germany. It's late is all that matters. So.
Oh, it's even later for Mirko.
Yeah, so
probably.
Exactly. So if you're here from Europe, you're hardcore. Very, very hardcore. Turbulent Velocity, that's my sister. Hi.
Hey.
Glad to see you on here. Mirko, what's up, man? Where's Mirko? He's in what country?
Well, he's midnight there too. I thought he was
Mirko's
closer
in,
to us.
He's not in Germany, he's in Denmark, right?
Well, I thought
think.
he was more
Okay.
south.
Pedro, how's it going, man? Nice to see you here.
Italy, okay.
Yeah, it's midnight for them. Italy, that's right. Oh, I should have known.
Yeah.
Gavelli.
I knew he
Hello.
was south, I just wasn't sure.
Okay. By the way, guys, Coke has still not given me a deal yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Daniel's
we're
here
ready to
from
go.
Germany too. Daniel.
Okay. So, here we are. And I'm going to have to talk first. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the situation with Brady, and then we'll move to the next topics. I do warn you, though, that I will be talking about the Steelers and the situation that's going on there on their team regarding the slogans and the names they're wearing on the back of the helmet, regarding all that, because it's turned into like a big deal right now.
It's a big circus.
One of the players actually ratted the rest of the coaching staff out. So anyway, we'll cover that. But first, let's talk about Brady. So there will be a new Brady hate season coming, and while that is a good thing, I guess. I mean, it's kind of bittersweet though, because if we have a Brady hate season, a new season. See, I thought in season 1 that I had gotten rid of that. Like I thought I had taken every misconception about Tom Brady and crushed it. I thought I took it, knocked it out of the ballpark, right? Well, no. Because here's what happened. The Brady hate saga's main goal was to do one thing and one thing only. It was to cure BDS. And for those of you who don't know what BDS is, it stands for Brady Derangement Syndrome. And it's a syndrome that you get when you're such a petty douchebag that you hate on Tom Brady because of his success, because he's good, and because he doesn't do what you believe is the way he should, because he's not throwing no-look passes behind his back and all this other crap, right?
And not to forget, he's cute.
Yeah, and well, that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people may hate him for that. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's sitting on their couch with their girlfriend and the girlfriend's saying, "Oh, look at that Peyton Manning. His forehead is so sexy." Yeah. So I wonder how many dudes have been sitting on their couches and their girlfriends go, "Oh, that Tom Brady's hot." Yeah. That will give you a bad case of BDS. Okay?
Always works.
But, yeah. Now, what this syndrome does is it makes you hate everything he does. He cannot win no matter what. And yes, for those of you who are wondering, I got it from TDS. I got the idea from TDS. So if you don't know what that is, go ahead and look it up. But not only could we not find a cure for BDS, but the syndrome is rapidly spreading. It's mutating now. It's like infecting people. But it's infecting people that we thought were immune. Take a guess. Patriots fans. That's right.
Oh, that's
It has
right.
infiltrated Patriots Nation. Okay? Now, of course, we've got our normal patient, our BDS patient zeros. You know, the source of the BDS. Those guys like Max and Nick and Chris Sims and Shannon. Chris Sims, you're a douche, by the way. But we know, we now have to go back in time to the Boston area Patriots fans, right? So, I estimate that at least half of my fan base here on the channel in its entirety, not just tonight, are Patriots fans. And then I would say that about 70% of those fans are from the greater Boston area or somewhere in New England. Now, I am not talking to you if you are not a Brady hater. Okay? So, just remember that. Okay.
We got more people joining, and 2 super chats. In case
Oh.
you wanna...
Damn.
Jason.
Ah, the red coat is back. The red coat is back. The red coats are coming. The red coats are coming, and the red coat is here. Oh, he got a new picture too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice jet there. 10-pound super chat. For those of you at home, that is a lot more than $10. That's about $16.
What's that in American dollars?
I want to see them. I'm American. I want American. Damn it. He says, evening all. Week 2, baby. Let's go. Brady haters can suck it. Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Of course, Jason is part of VAS Legion. But, boys, that dude had a busy few weeks. So, glad to see he's back and here with us tonight. Addy, $5 super chat. He says, but that sexy forehead, talking about Peyton Manning. Give that baby a polish and you can use it as a full body mirror. That is true. And by the way, it's actually getting bigger. I saw him recently at some kind of charity function or something, or I don't know what it was, but it's gotten bigger. So like it's getting worse. But since Eddie is now sending the chat, I just want to give him a shout out. His Browns won. So everybody give Eddie a hug. There's your hug, Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie's Browns had a victory. Okay. This is fantastic. So now they're 1-1. The only problem is that in order to get the victory, they had to play the Cincinnati Bengals. you know, the Bengals, the same team that last year accused Belichick or the Patriots in general of filming their procedural movements on the field at another game. Apparently, Belichick needed to do that in order to beat them, right? But that's the same team. And by the way, I'm not going to make too much fun of the Bengals because they got Joe Burrow. He's the former quarterback of LSU. He's the guy who had this greatest, they say the greatest quarterback college season of all time from last year. I personally thought the greatest college football quarterback job of all time was Cam Newton, but I have to say that I haven't paid much attention to Joe Burrow last year until the very end of it. So I'm not a college guy, so ask somebody else if you want to know more about that. But yeah, Addy, congrats on the Browns winning. And the guy who likes to get crapped on by women, and I do mean that literally, he caught a touchdown. He had a nice, referring to Odell Beckham Jr. So we've got a $5 super chat from Pedro Cano. He says, hey, as a man with a beautiful girlfriend, I readily admit that Tom Brady is handsome as all heck. It's easy to be jealous of as much success as his, and that is so true, okay? I've found that jealousy of other people because of their accomplishments or the way they look, people who are jealous like that, I've found that it's a self-esteem issue, actually. If you really care, if you love yourself, I don't mean love yourself as in self-involved and freaking arrogant jerk off. Okay, I don't mean it like that.
No,
I just mean
narcissism.
you are happy with who you are, and you're confident in who you are. You're not going to hate on other people. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to take those people who you think are successful or you think, wow, I would like to be where that person is. What you would do is you would strive to be like them, or you would do something in your life to be better, to be more like them. That is the kind of person that would not hate on others. But if you're a Brady hater, you need to look in a mirror, man. That's really the problem, actually. So
You think you're better looking? Well, call us. We want to check. We want to compare.
Holy crap. Another 10-pound super chat from across the pond. The red coat has struck again. Come on, Patriots guys. We're going to have to fight back or the red coats are going to kill us. Remember, we won the war. We won the war. The red coat keeps firing shots. Jason Patrick Saunders says again, could soon be a long, long red coat trip to Merritt Island, Florida, baby. Hashtag the British are coming. Hold on. Hold on. Is he saying that he might get the NASA job?
I don't know. I think he's hinting on that.
Is that?
And we'll just cross our fingers.
Okay. Dude,
Yeah.
don't mess with me. Is that what you're talking about? Merritt Island? I don't know where that is, but I know the last time we talked about going to Florida, we all said we're going to move to Florida, and you said that you were looking into working for NASA in Florida. So.
It is exactly around there.
Or he could mean, since I don't know where Merritt Island, Florida is.
It's where you think, yeah.
So it is correct.
Yeah. I think so. But that's the location.
Yes! Okay, sorry guys. I want to fill you guys in. So the red coat, Jason Patrick Saunders, he's an engineer, okay? And I will not divulge what type of engineer, but it's very complicated, very hardcore stuff, okay? We're not talking about the kind of engineer that drives a choo-choo train, okay? We're talking about, or the kind of engineer that's going to fix your car engine or something, or that would be a mechanic, I guess. But no, this guy works on really cool stuff. Anyway, we were all talking about, all of us who are in VAS Legion, we were all talking about getting the hell out of where we were from and going to Florida, okay? Brady went to Florida. It seems like Florida is the way to go, right? I want to get out of California. California, pardon my French, is a complete shithole now. It's ran by idiots. It's on fire, okay, literally and figuratively. So I would like to get out of Florida, even though I live in West Hollywood, and it in itself is okay. The area is okay. There's nothing wrong with West Hollywood, but it's surrounded by nothing but bad stuff. And there's some other ones of us. But anyway, we're talking about moving to Florida. But then Jason had said that he was applying for a NASA job that would take him to Florida. Now, of course, this made Milena happy because she lived in Miami in Florida in general, not just Miami, but in Florida in general for what, 15 years?
9 years.
15, yeah.
Yeah, I would go back.
And for me, that's great. Florida is the South. It's not exactly like, I'm from Arkansas, but it's not Arkansas or Tennessee, but it's still the South. And I would love to be back on the eastern side of the United States. I feel like I'm in California. I'm so far away from everything. But it would be nice to go back to Florida. But anyway, you're supposed to stop me when I'm rambling incoherently. But Jason applied for a job at NASA to be an engineer there. And we've been wondering what's going on. And apparently now he's saying that he is on a short list of 6. That is so, dude, I'm so proud of you, okay? Even if it doesn't go farther than that, to get down to a short list of 6 for a job at NASA, okay? That already is awesome, and that just shows the job history that you have and how well you are at it, and the pedigree that you have for it. That is, I'm really, really proud of you, man. That's awesome. Amazing. God, I hope he gets it. If he gets it, that'll move our asses really fast because we're so slow about doing things. And if he ends up in Florida, well, yeah, that will push the move date a lot faster.
And then Shaq might.
You hear that, Shaq?
Closer.
You hear that, Shaq? Start getting ready, man. Yeah. Start getting ready. Mr. A, if you're out there, get ready. Dennis, Nightwalker, he's going to have to be like, oh, crap. What's your immigration situation again? Actually, Nightwalker should work for NASA too, taking space photography. Have you guys ever went to Nightwalker's YouTube channel? Dude, he is a phenomenal nighttime photographer. And if you've ever tried to take pictures at night or of the moon or something, you immediately realize how bad you are at it. And you immediately realize how difficult it is. This dude takes pictures at night that are just phenomenal, of planets and all kinds of crap. He's awesome. Oh, so there's a guy named Big Country. Says, I live in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Nice. I've been to Fort Smith several times.
Big Country, that's the wrestler, no? The
fighter.
The fighter.
UFC fighter. That's right.
Fighter, yeah.
You remembered Big Country.
I remember him,
yeah, Big Country. He was a fighter.
Yeah. Is that you?
Pedro, $3 super chat. He says, P.S. Tom Brady is my professional inspiration.
Yeah.
Mine too. One of mine. I have several, but I'm not ashamed to say it. I know Tom is only a few years older than me. Me and Tom could have been on the same high school football team together. But I don't care. I mean, I still look at him as look what you could achieve. Look what you can accomplish. I think you can learn things from people even if they're younger than you. I think you can learn things from. But he's older than me, but not by much. Thank you so much, Pedro. Donnie! Look, Milena, Donnie's back.
Hey, Donnie.
Take a pic 1313. And remember, Donnie, whatever I'm about to say when I'm done here, what I'm about to say about Patriots fans, I'm not talking about you, Donnie. Donnie sent me a 1970s helmet, the old Pat the Patriot helmet, that belonged to him and his brother when they were children. He sent it to me to make sure, he said, to make sure it survives. Come on, man. If I had started this YouTube channel, I wouldn't know any of these guys. And now we're talking about people moving to Florida, people sending me things that should be heirlooms in the family. And this is just awesome. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Jonathan Cleeth. I live in Bentonville, Arkansas. What's with all the Arkansas people here?
Oh.
What the hell is going on? Bentonville, of course I've been to Bentonville. That's where Walmart started. That was the first Walmart store. And then the second Walmart store was in Newport. Newport is about 30 miles from where I grew up. But yeah, absolutely been to Bentonville. Yeah. It's pretty far away from where I grew up, but I've been there. Oh, Dinnerlane. Yeah. Dinnerlane. Actually, yeah, Nat Walker's real name is Dennis. Wait a minute. Let me check something.
That's me in case something is happening.
I didn't mean Nightwalker.
Oh, okay.
No. Nightwalker's name is Daniel. Sorry. Did I call him Dennis by accident earlier? Okay.
Well, Dennis was there.
Just to defend myself, right now in the chat, we've got two Germans, one named Dennis and Daniel. We've got another Dennis. And I'm also friends with a German named Daniel. But 3 of the Daniels and Dennises are in the chat right now. So, yeah, it's easy to get confused. Wait. Lucas McQuay is in Alicia? Lucas, you're in Alicia? I didn't even know you were so close. Wow. But, so Donnie, there's so many, everyone's named Donnie, Dennis, or Daniel. Okay. Donnie sends a $20 super chat. He says, hi, you two. And, Jason could be a spaceship. Could be a spaceship. Could be a space. There's a lot of D's out there. Oh, nice one. The red coat. That's a lot of D's out there. Yes, Jason Patrick Saunders, there are a lot of D's out there. All kinds. Okay. So, where were we? Back to talking about the Patriots fans. Now, I've been warned by a few people not to say this, but they say, "Oh, you could risk thousands of subscribers." Well, it's possible. However, you became a subscriber here because you liked and appreciated my effort. I would try to be honest, blunt, and analytical as much as I could be. So, if I didn't address what's going on right now, I think I'd be violating that. Now, I love my subscribers, okay? And I appreciate every single one of you. It's precisely why I let you guys speak your mind, and I never block you. I let you guys talk junk in the comment section. I let you guys talk a lot of junk on Facebook, and I don't ever do anything. But at the same time, I'm not going to be fake and pander to people even when something is not right, okay? So here we go. On March 17th of this year, Brady announced he was leaving the Patriots, and BDS ended up infiltrating a very large portion of Patriots fandom. And there was one particular thing I noticed. A majority of the hate was from people who lived in the area, that centralized area in Boston. And at the same time, though, it was rare to find a Patriots fan from outside of that area that was hating on Brady. And I started talking to other people about this to see if they thought the same thing. So I had to investigate more, of course. Now, if you're from the New England area and you did not sell Tom out and haven't been infected with BDS, I'm not talking to you. I just want to say that one more time, just in case you just tuned in. It means that you're logical and you don't react to everything with a 15-year-old girl's emotional volatility. That's nice. But for the ones who were infected, I have a few theories. The first one is that being from the area creates a much more intimate experience regarding Brady. And it has been explained to me, okay, on the actual Von Out Sports Facebook group, of all places, that Brady leaving for them is like that girlfriend who broke your heart and is now hooking up with that other dude across the street. Now, this was made known to me about a week ago, I think, right after the Saints game. Well, this way of thinking is hugely problematic, okay? That means that your original obsession with Brady was of an extremely bizarre nature, and not something I'm really in lockstep with. But the second reason, and this is probably the bigger one, the second reason I think that could contribute mostly to this BDS in Patriots Nation, it's Patriots fans trying to prove their Patriots loyalty. Now, for whatever reason, I remember this phenomenon, it gained a lot of traction during the 1990s when the Cowboys dynasty had come up. And it was definitely a word thrown around in Arkansas because Arkansas is near Texas, so there's a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans. And I remember every time someone was a Cowboys fan, they'd be called a bandwagoner. They'd say, "Oh, you're just a Cowboys fan because you're on the bandwagon." And then that word just got out of hand everywhere, and everyone used that word. And today, people are trying so hard to prove that they're real fans by selling Brady out, and they think that makes them loyal. And by extension, of course, a diehard, they think a diehard would be willing to sacrifice the most significant thing that happened to the Boston sports area. So their logic is they deduce that if they're ready to sell out Brady, well, they must be legit fans, right? Now, it comes with rhetoric like, I hear this every time. I was a fan before Brady, so I can be after. I was a fan before Brady, I could be after. Oh my God, good for you. Guess what? So was I. Okay? What does that have to do with anything? Okay? This is the kind of crap that should be self-evident, all right? And not used as a declaration of your love for your team. No real fan, okay? If you are a real fan, even before Brady, you would not feel the need to declare yourself a Brady fan before Brady. A Patriots fan before Brady, right? You wouldn't need to. Okay? I don't go around calling, just letting everyone know things I like or things I am. I don't type all the time. I'm a good person. I'm a nice person. Post. Okay? The same reason I'm not going to post, I'm a Patriots fan like that. You don't need, it's okay, fine. But this is their thinking. It's actually in their own brain. And this is what BDS does to you. It infects your brain, plays tricks on you. Okay? Now, this way of thinking is extremely logical and purely emotional and ego-based. Okay? It's this type of self-gratification and desire for approval, that makes a lot of people today, this is very popular today, it makes people try to champion themselves for causes they have nothing to do with. Also, they can get that proverbial pat on the back. Oh, you're such a good person. Oh, you're so amazing. Oh, you're so amazing. You're such a good Patriots fan. You're so loyal. That's right. You were here before Brady, and now you're let's go Cam Newton. And that makes me proud of you. That means that you're a bigger Patriots fan than other people who still want to see Tom do good. That's what this has come down to. Okay? Now, what reinforces my theory on this is the fact that their hypocrisy is out of control. They try to preach standards for why they don't want to talk about Brady, okay, while violating this exact rule with every other ex-Patriots player or ex-Patriots coach. All right? Now, there's this fan group. I think I told you guys about this a few months back, but I helped promote this group when it began, but suddenly this guy the owner of the group is dropping posts that says, taking a vote on whether they should still post Tom Brady related content on there.
And deciding that they will not anymore.
Yeah.
Somehow.
A Patriots page just taking a vote on whether or not they're going to post any updates about Tom Brady. This is complete madness, all right? Well, this pissed me off quite a bit, okay?
And then seeing people saying, well, why are you posting about Tom Brady here? He's no longer here.
Exactly. The fact that a Patriots group would even consider something like this is sinful, okay? Not to mention moronic, I would say. But whatever. There it was, and that's what it had come down to. And naturally, I posed this, of course, thought it was ludicrous. But after I posted a rather explicit and to-the-point post in the group, they kicked me out. Okay. So he managed to use a basic loophole saying I violated the group's terms by I called people bitches. All right. So basically I said, all of you people who are posting against Brady are nothing but a bunch of bitches. All right. Fair enough. I had an emotional outburst. Okay. I was a snowflake. I was whatever you want to call that. I was triggered. Okay. Fine. It happens to the best of us, right? But he knew exactly what I meant, okay? He knew exactly what I meant. And the truth is that he knew that he sold Brady out, and he didn't like how correct he knew I was. It made him feel bad. And of course, he and the other members profess this bullshit that Brady is no longer on the Patriots, so he has no reason to be spoken of in a Patriots group. Okay, well, for the record,
He's taboo.
Is this not the go-to point every single time?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you talking about Brady? He's no longer here.
It reminds me of Orange Man Bad. Orange Man Bad. The Orange Man is bad, right? Which means they have no real legitimate reason to hate Tom Brady. So they come up with some nonsense. All right, well, fine. Now, like I said, I run a more free group where, I only kicked out 3 people since it started in 2018. Let's see. It took a lot of occurrences and crossing the line several times for even those 3 to do that. One guy was removed for threatening physical harm to another member, which happened to also be my relative that was threatened. And even then, I put up with it way longer than I should have. Let's see. Oh, another guy posted a video of himself pissing, urinating on the American flag.
Ooh.
Okay?
Nice.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't see that.
You got to go. Okay? The third guy had just gone into some weird personal stuff that just got really weird and crazy. And, he had to go.
Everyone.
Now, I have put up with being cussed out. I put up with vulgarity towards others. I put up with my family and friends being insulted and cussed out. All kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I still didn't kick out most of these people, except for 3. But with that said, anyone who owns a group, okay, can make their own rules, right? All right. But kicking me out for such a weak thing is pretty bad. But whatever. I'm on the right side here, all right? No other athlete has earned more loyalty than Tom Brady. If you are a Patriots fan, you should not only support him, but you should also, if you don't, you should lose your Patriots fan card. That should be revoked. Should be ripped right out of your wallet, okay? Now, they say, reason he's not talking about Tom Brady is he's no longer on the Patriots. Well, I threw that stuff right back in their face. Okay. For one, I had consistently, I personally, on that group and in other groups, I had consistently posted updates on the progress of Jimmy Garoppolo, Danny Amendola, and all kinds of other former Patriots. In that group and other groups, not once. Okay. I mean that literally. I am not exaggerating. This is not hyperbole. I mean literally, not one time in the last several years, however long I've been doing in those groups, not one time has someone said even remotely close to me, why are you posting about that guy? He's not on the Patriots anymore. Huh. Okay, so to further prove my point, I ran a history on this guy's Facebook group, just to verify all the posts that had ever been said about former Patriots. Okay? Not only did I find other members posting other than myself, the owner, he had posted stuff about former Patriots, especially Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah. Interesting. You know, the guy was pretending that Brady was, the guy that was posting that they need to make some kind of big decision about Brady. Anyway, I wasn't the first one actually to get kicked out of the group. Actually, Milena was the first one to get kicked out of the group because he started mansplaining stuff to her and everything. And dude, she just like destroyed him. The exchange was just amazing.
No cuss words used though. But
no cuss words, but nothing I said to him was ever going to top the absolute destruction and ravaging she unleashed on his ass. It was rough. I remember I posted her comments in the Facebook group, and everyone was like, "Damn!" I'm like, "Ouch!" Yeah, I'll freely admit I was impressed. I was very happy. Some of the stuff she come up with, I wish I had come up with those lines because they would have been great for a comeback, you know.
But find these screenshots because I forgot.
Oh, I've got screenshots and I'll post them for anyone who wants to see this exchange. Go to Facebook group and I'll post it later on. Now, do I have any super chats before I continue?
I believe there was one. Did you hold on? Addie, let me see. Before, did you read? Take a pic. You did. So Addie.
Addie. You lovable scamp. Everybody's favorite Cleveland Browns fan. Sends a $2 super chat. He says, March 17th, best day for AFC fans. Not gonna lie. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But, I don't know. Maybe not. Okay? Just remember, Bill Belichick did not go out and replace Tom Brady with some no-name guy, okay? He went out and replaced Tom Brady with Cam Newton, okay? So I think that anybody in the AFC who's thinking, oh, God, Tom Brady's gone now, the Patriots are going to be nothing, don't count on that yet, okay? This isn't some scrub that's playing quarterback in New England. I know. I know. See it twice. It's pretty pathetic that any Pats fan needs to be told this. I completely agree, but it has to be said.
It is so strange.
Now, that leads us to after the game, after the Sunday's game. Now, the fallout from Brady's less than stellar start to the season, and that's really only because there was a pick six, in my opinion. The reaction of Patriots fans was utterly shocking. Okay? Now, I was watching the Patriots game at dinner. So her family were having a get-together at a restaurant, and I'm sitting there with my earphones on watching the Patriots game, and I'm like reacting to this stuff. And she's like, "Oh, what happened?" And everyone's like speaking Bulgarian. It's like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm watching the game, and after it, I went to check my Facebook stuff, and I'm seeing the stuff that people are posting. The Patriots fans are posting. Man, I had honestly thought that there was a chance that their BDS would be cured by the time the season started. I really thought that there was a chance that could happen. And I thought that they would get, all that emotion out of their system. Especially after Bill signed Cam. I thought the signing of Cam would have been like, okay, wow, we can keep this thing alive, and then there would be no hate against Tom. That's logical, right? I thought surely they'd no longer be butthurt by Brady. He didn't leave them anymore with a virtual unknown quarterback. They've got Cam, so all should be well, right? You would think that's the logical train of thought. But oh no. No. The BDS that we saw from March before opening day was just a warm-up, a preseason version of BDS, basically. After the Patriots won and Cam scored 2 rushing touchdowns, I thought, man, well, see, the Patriots won. All is okay. Milena, remember I told you, I took out my headpiece and I said, you know what?
Yeah.
Cam did well. I think this might help with the Brady hate. And, I thought all is well. So now they'll turn on Tom's game and they'll root for him. And it'll be a win-win. Everybody's happy. But oh, damn, did I miscalculate that? Okay, never, and I'll quote Bullet Tooth Tony from the movie Snatch. If you've never seen it, it's a great education in how to speak Cockney London accent. Okay? Never underestimate the predictability of stupidity. Okay? And I had ignored that. As of the time, of right now, the anti-Brady Patriots followers have put more effort, okay? I'm talking all this week. They have put more effort, more passion, and more enthusiasm for Brady losing to the Saints than they did for the Patriots beating the Dolphins. Okay? I'll repeat that. They put more effort and passion into Brady losing than they did the Patriots winning. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've hit rock bottom. Okay? Utterly disgusting. Okay? They were reveling in Tom losing his first game. After one Sunday, okay? After one Sunday, one day, not even a full day, okay? Just a few hours. After a few hours, the Patriots fan base had become the one thing that they despised, they absolutely hated for the last 20 years. And that was Brady and Patriots haters. For 20 years, as Patriots fans, they put up with pure hatred and contempt for their team. A BDS level so powerful that most haters got more joy from the Patriots losing than their own team winning. A Jets fan, okay, I remember a Jets fan would get more pleasure from the Pats losing to the Dolphins than they'd get from the Jets beating the Bills. Okay? We're talking insanity levels of pathetic. And now, that's what's become of many in Patriots Nation. Wow. Somehow Brady's become a villain. And this hatred against Tom, it's put me in a very bad situation. A situation where I'm being forced to point out things that I'd personally rather not, okay? Or something I believe that should be said. But here we are. I wanted to revel in Cam's first game being a victory, okay? After that, I was like, okay, I wanted to check in on Tom and hope to revel in his victory too. And then after that, or during that, I tuned in back and forth. I went to Jimmy G. I wanted to see how he was doing with his 49ers. I wanted to see if he could get his team going, after their crushing defeat in Super Bowl 54. I kept an eye even out on Matt Patricia, the head coach of the Lions. He was our former defensive coordinator. I wanted to see if any good luck would finally come his way. I was also checking on Jamie Collins and several other, former Patriots and so on. You get the idea, okay? For me, it makes the game more fun. It makes the other games exciting to watch, hoping these guys, do their best. But damn, my way of thinking is certainly not shared by everyone in Patriots Nation, apparently. So, but I do know there are many like me, okay? And you guys are here and y'all are proof of that, right? But that leads us to the idiotic talking heads that also have the emotional fortitude of a teenage girl. Now, some of these guys we know are merely faking it, right? While others are dead serious in their hatred of Brady. Like Shannon Sharp, for example. Shannon, he is not a real Brady hater. And what I mean by that is that I remember when he was on CBS before he went on Undisputed, he didn't slam Brady or anything like that. And then even in private, I've seen interviews on YouTube, and while he's been employed Undisputed, and he says something completely different. He calls Brady the GOAT and all this other stuff. So he's fake, right? I mean, he's faking it. He's just playing a character because Skip is the contrarian, right?
He's there for the drama.
Right, because Skip is Skip is a Brady fan, so Shannon plays a part. All right, so fine. But then you have the real McCoys, okay? The guys who already, their Brady hate was already just there. It comes naturally to them. So any anti-Brady script that they give them isn't really acting for them, right? It's like if you were an actor in a movie and you were told to play the character of yourself. Well, that's not acting, is it? That's just you being you. So for them, it's just natural. Guys like Max and Nick and Chris and he who shall not be named. All these idiots are all legitimate Brady haters. But Max Kellerman, I cannot stand you, dude. Oh my God. I just cannot explain the level of just annoyance that guy gives me. Max is so pathetic that they had to push Stephen A. Smith to defend Brady. Okay? We're talking the same Stephen A., a Steelers and a Giants fan. And when Skip was there, certainly wasn't Brady's most prominent endorser, Stephen A. But Max's hatred, of course, stemmed originally from being a Giants fan, and it mutated into something more, basically. So how did Max suddenly make the difference between Brady and Belichick and somehow hold Bill's pom-poms, but not Brady's? Okay? Why is it Max always kissing Belichick's ass, but always running down Brady? And I wondered that, and I think I figured it out. The first thing is that Belichick helped his Giants, his favorite team. I'm talking about Max. His childhood favorite team is the Giants.
Right.
Belichick helped the Giants win 2 Super Bowls when Max was a kid as defensive coordinator under Bill Parcells. So Max has some level of appreciation for Belichick already. It's built in. Not to mention his Giants got 2 more Super Bowls against the Patriots that was coached by a Belichickian type. Can we say that? Belichickian? Belichickian. A Belichickian type coach in Tom Coughlin. All right? So for Max, there's a lateral likability and familiarity. So naturally, his hatred's aimed at Brady. But anyway, Max is one of those sports fans that gravitate quickly towards flash and immediate gratification. Similar to how like a child chooses their favorite things, right? It's like immediate. It's like whatever is the flashiest, whatever makes noise, lights up, that's what they go for. Well, okay. He loves guys like Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, and I ain't got nothing against Mahomes, by the way. I'm just saying those type of flashy things on the football field. But they shun guys who are more about fundamentals and more about the cerebral approach to the game only and less about the physical flash and all that. But Max's intelligence is lacking so badly in these areas that his emotion overrules his analytical side, basically. But then you take Chris Sims, who's a total douche, and Nick Wright, who looks like he got hit in the face with a shovel. And then you got he who shall not be named, They all just happen to worship the same quarterbacks, Rodgers and Mahomes and guys like that. What a coincidence, right? But finally, the very thing that sets Max's hatred apart for Brady is what he did on his first day on First Take, when he replaced the other equally moronic Skip Bayless. Max wanted to make a bold statement on his first day. He wanted to come in. He's like, I'm replacing the guy for grandiose and overly aggressive and often ridiculous opinions and predictions. So I wanted to say something. I wanted to say, I'm Max Kellerman and I have arrived. That kind of crap, right? So what did he do? Went after Tom Brady. Of course. He says, quote, Tom Brady will be a bum in short order.
Oh, yeah.
He will fall off a cliff. Okay. And just like that, the Brady cliff was born from his first day. Now, when Max said this, now I know this is old news, but there's a point to this and to what I'm getting to now. When Max said this, Brady was already in his late 30s. Okay? Just to go back and look at how many Hall of Fame quarterbacks didn't even make it to their late 30s. All right? And if they did, they weren't playing, they weren't starting, they were usually injured. But he said this about Tom when he was in his late 30s. This was all the way back in 2016 that he said this.
Wow.
Huh.
Some things happened after that.
Yeah, a few things happened after that. An MVP, another Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl appearances. Apparently he was wrong, right? But his reputation as an analyst was on the line. And Tom was making him look like a fool. But now that he's made this statement, anytime Brady would play like crap, rarely if he did, that was something that Max would root for every week. So he'd openly root for it because he wants to be right. And for every season that passed where Brady showed zero signs of slowing down for the actual educated and critical thinking NFL fan, his contempt and hatred for Brady got worse and worse and worse. And now we're 4+ years after that idiotic statement of his, and he was as right about the cliff, okay, as Nick Wright is about anything that he's ever said about football or basketball in general. This is humiliated Max, right? So Brady not only had met the deadline for the cliff, he freaking obliterated it. This has killed Max's ego, all right? And it's killed his ego so much that he even had Will Cain. I don't know if you guys remember Will Cain, but Will Cain had to leave ESPN. And I remember Will Cain famously roasting Max, and he said, well, this is the least scary cliff ever. Okay? That is awesome. That's like one of the best lines on that show. But now Brady's 43. He's in uncharted territory right now. Completely uncharted territory. Completely. 43. What is the expectations for a 43-year-old quarterback? We've never really seen this before. The only other guy even close to this was Warren Moon, but by then he was on the bench and he didn't even get to play. But here we are. And every day that Brady is in the NFL is one more day piled on to reminding America that Max Kellerman is, to quote Milena said this the other night, a huge moron. Not your average moron, not a little bit of a moron, but a huge moron. She wanted to make sure that there was emphasis on huge. But while I know his antics and what they are, and I think most of you guys do know too, it doesn't mean I shouldn't challenge them, because there are thousands, maybe even millions of people out there who watch ESPN and they think he's right and they think he knows what he's talking about. And it's for those people that I talk about stuff like this. Now, Remember what I said. He's reveling in the idea. Okay? He was bragging. After Tom lost to the Saints, he was bragging that a 43-year-old quarterback didn't have a great game. Every single thing that Tom does right now, okay? Everything he does is just icing. It is icing on a cake larger than anything you could imagine. I got an idea. Let me put it this way. Tom Brady would have been declared for the Hall of Fame if he had retired in 2005. All right? In 2005. So if you were to walk up and ask Joe Montana or anyone else in the NFL who knows what they're talking about, right? Back in 2005, 2006, and you say, should Tom Brady go to the Hall of Fame? Yeah. So, when you have been Hall of Fame worthy for the last 15 years, every single thing you do is now icing on the cake. It's no longer even part of the cake anymore. The Hall of Fame is the thing that you can reach. It's the highest achievement you can reach as a player or a coach. It's the highest achievement. When you've already made that, okay, when you've already made that at the age of 25, there's nothing left to prove. By that age, he had already won 3 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. That's insane. Okay? And then a year later, he has the greatest quarterback season of all time. Okay? If you want to go by, I know that Peyton broke the record for touchdowns, but if you want to talk about efficiency, all right, and just the overall best positive output of a quarterback, it is 2007 when Tom Brady, because what gave him the edge, already his stats are the efficiency is already better than what Peyton did. But Tom's record-breaking season ended up in an undefeated regular season. So he went 16-0 with those stats. So the byproduct of Tom's stats was an undefeated season. Undefeated regular season. So that's already that's already on top of that, right? But everything he's done since then, how in the world can any of these idiots say that anything Tom has done, right? Anything that Tom has done right now, like oh, he's finished. He's not the GOAT. Guys, today I literally saw people posting on a YouTube video that Tom is not the GOAT because of week 1. Dead serious. Dead serious. Oh, he didn't play well in week 1. He threw a pick 6. He's not the GOAT anymore. It's all over. It's all over. It's just complete madness, right? But there's something I want to explain, all right? Brady right now is in the perfect situation regarding his legacy, at least to someone logical and not infected with BDS, right? But at 43, he's not supposed to be remarkable. It's not expected. I mean, not if you're looking at this objectively, right? But if he is great, that's great news, of course. It's wonderful, right? People should just be happy that they're getting to watch this guy. I would love it if Peyton Manning or Brett Favre and guys like that were still playing or got to keep playing longer. I would consider us lucky to get to keep seeing that, right? Wouldn't you like think that would be a great thing, even though they're a rival? Like Peyton Manning was our rival for his whole career. But I still, when Peyton retired, it was like a gap that was created, and then we'd find somebody new to fill it. But there was nothing like Brady versus Manning. Nothing. And I missed those games, and some of them were on our side, by the way. In fact, the last several did not go our way, especially when he was in Denver. But again, I'm not a petty douche. But then suddenly Max does something, guys. Now, this was on Monday after the game. He's laughing, he's happy. And he says, "Sorry, Brady, you're not in the AFC East anymore." What? Okay, guys, Max is probably getting about $1 million a year to spout this crap. He is peddling the old AFC East argument. Do you know the kind of idiots that peddle that AFC East argument? Do you know what kind of morons do that? I mean, we're talking like complete drones of people, like people who are scratching themselves and eating Cheetos while they're on YouTube clicking. Okay? Those type of people write stuff like, Brady's not in the AFC East anymore. After one game, guys. One game against the New Orleans Saints, who is probably the most well-rounded team in the entire NFL. The New Orleans Saints right now have, I think, overall the best, most complete team. That's who Tom was playing against. And after one game, it somehow proves that Tom can't win because he's not in the AFC East anymore. And then he starts praising Bill Belichick. Interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bill Belichick is still the coach of the Patriots, isn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Bill Belichick just win the other day against the Dolphins? Against the AFC East. An AFC East opponent. Is Bill Belichick not still in the AFC East? I'm just wondering, how in the hell does he reconcile this? And people eat this up, dude, and they go and they repeat what he said. I don't get it. It's takes like this that should get a guy fired, all right, after a while. I mean, not that one specifically, but just all of these types, because he does this all the time. After a while, you would think if you're a real news and a real sports analyst organization that you cared about that, you'd get rid of these scripted pseudo-reality shows. Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, and I don't want to sound like one of those old timers. When I was a kid, I had to go through 10 feet of snow to get to school. And when I watched football, it was like prison yard rules. I mean, they were out there stabbing each other. And I remember one running back, Jim Brown. He had a submachine gun with him when he was running. Okay, no, I'm not doing all that, all right? But it is true. When I was a kid, SportsCenter actually was a legit, ESPN and SportsCenter was a legit sports show. SportsCenter was awesome. You watch SportsCenter as a kid. Before you go to school, you get up early just so you can watch SportsCenter. Because especially as a boy, I don't know, I'm sure girls did this too, but mainly for guys, if you would watch SportsCenter because you don't want to go to school and be the kid who doesn't know what's going on. You don't want to be the kid who goes to school while everyone's talking about, did you see last night what Jordan did in overtime? Or did you see this pass that Brett Favre threw? You don't want to be the guy who doesn't know what's going on. So you'd watch SportsCenter. Now kids are going to school regurgitating idiots like Max Kellerman. It's like, listen, back in those days, they did not hate on players. They talked good about every player who was playing well. There was none of this nonsense that they're saying today. It's just completely different. He would have been fired for trying stuff like that back then. But now it's an entire it's a mantra of the actual channel, right? Isn't it?
Like
It's now it's what they want.
it's like a soap opera too, in a way.
So I mean, wouldn't you agree that the everyone involved and the higher ups and all this, they're wanting this? Don't you think they're
Yeah.
wanting more of it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would assume so. But anyway, this stuff gets in the minds of people. Okay? I warned you guys, I had a lot on my mind tonight. As you guys know, with the AFC East thing, okay? There's no such thing as an easy win in the NFL. Even Addie's Browns beating up on the poor little Bengals was not easy. Nothing easy about it. However, the difficulty level, even against the worst NFL team, the bar is insanely high. All right, it's just insanely high. It's not like college, where in college you could run into a team that, I don't know, is almost is hard to distinguish between the difference between them and a high school team sometimes, or at least close to that. That happens. I've seen big powerhouse teams beat on teams that I think would have a hard time against high school kids. But the worst NFL team would annihilate, not just beat, annihilate the best college football team. Okay? I'll repeat. The worst NFL team of all time will beat the best college football team. Okay? And not only beat them, it will be pretty bad. I'd say if you took the worst NFL team of all time against the best college football team of all time, it's not going to be like 70-0, but it'll be pretty bad. It'll be like 45-7 or something like that. It'll be pretty rough. So this whole he played in the AFC East thing and that's why he won, it's complete short bus thinking, honestly. But I'm going to have to go places here that I didn't really want to go. That somehow Brady on the Bucs will settle some kind of dispute between Belichick and Brady. Who's better? Somehow Tom, being in Tampa Bay, is going to settle this. If you think that is something that is valid and can be quantified now, you're mistaken. Because let's say that Tom left the Patriots when he was 34. All right? And he was still in his prime, what people would consider a physical prime. Even then, it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't. If he had gone to Tampa Bay at 34, it wouldn't make a difference. It never would have. And that's what I've been trying to say. I've been saying this for years. I'm not just saying this now. You guys are my witness. I have been saying this for years. If you even watch a little bit, okay? If you watch this channel at all, you know that this is what I believe long before we knew Tom was going anywhere, and we never thought Tom was leaving. Who's more responsible for the Patriots dynasty, quarterback or coach? Can it be judged? Well, I guess you would have to do some things. First, the stipulations would have to be this. But just for the record, Brady and Belichick's current situations can't call for this, so it can't happen. But let's say that we had some kind of time machine, all right? So the first thing for this so-called battle, it'd have to be a altogether even playing field with a brand new team. So Brady's done that. New coaching staff, an entirely new atmosphere, a new ownership. And Belichick himself would actually have to leave New England. And he wouldn't have he would not have at his disposal all of his main personnel and the players he's got. And coaches and training staff and all that. Now, Belichick would need to go to the NFC, where he doesn't have as much familiarity with the teams. That is important, not knowing these other teams. He'd need a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator. He'd need a new special teams coordinator, who he's never worked with. A new quarterback. He's got that. New leader of the defense. New leader of special teams. This would also mean no Nick Caserio. It'd mean no Dante Hightower, which he doesn't have right now. No Julian Edelman. No Matthew Slater. He's got both of those guys right now. And of course, no new owner, or I'm sorry, of course, a new owner who has different business values, different way of doing things. Maybe he doesn't give Belichick as much freedom as Kraft. Kraft stays out of it for the most part, unless he's getting caught in an Asian whorehouse, and then he'll make a deal. But other than that, Kraft stays out of the way generally. But this isn't possible right now. So Belichick's situation in New England completely taints any kind of result of a Brady versus Belichick battle. All right? But as it stands in reality, in this reality, okay? Not in some alternate Earth or universe somewhere, but in our reality. This is not Mandela effect crap, okay? I'm talking right now in our reality, which our reality sucks right now, by the way. This is going to be the worst year of my life. All right. Brady's difficulty level right now is way higher. Way higher. It's completely, like, out of the ballpark higher. Why? He's at the mercy of everything being new. New ownership, new GM, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new offensive system, new verbiage, and all the other essential parts of an organization that doesn't know anything about the things Tom likes to do, about how he thinks, about what he does. None of that is in place anymore. It's all brand new. Other than Gronk, of course, but that's not really doesn't make much of a difference as far as the whole scale being altered. Now, Brady, he can't just play well, okay? He has to play so well to overcome any areas in defense or special teams that may be lacking. And that's impossible, okay? That's almost impossible to do if those other phases of the game aren't holding up their end of the bargain. Now, remember, all of this is true in any season. In any year, this is true. And at any age. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. It's true about anybody. But Tom is 43. And he has to adjust to a new everything without a preseason. Never done that before. Okay? So he's got to adjust without a preseason. Phillip Rivers went from the Chargers to the Colts. He struggled. Okay? They barely even let Cam throw the ball consistently. Cam's defense on the Patriots, they got 3 interceptions. I think that probably helped. Okay? It also ended the Dolphins' comeback. I would say that certainly helped matters. But they limited Cam to what he's comfortable with, and rightfully so, especially after, the Dolphins have poor run defense, first of all, so why wouldn't you run at them? But as time goes on, Cam will start to pass more and more, because all of these quarterbacks are all exploring completely new situations. Now, the quarterbacks who got victory on Sunday after no preseason, they all just happen to be in the same system, same teammates. Ben Roethlisberger, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Lamar Jackson, all had the same core guys. Same everything, same what they're used to, right? But Big Ben, it took him a little while to get going because he missed all of last year too. Drew Brees didn't exactly look convincing. I'm not saying anything bad about Drew. I'm just saying, though, that it's not like he went out there and just balled out, all right? The Saints' offense made plenty of mistakes in that game, and Drew's passes weren't exactly, flawless. Now, the Saints' own coach, Sean Payton, after the game, said that the offense was atrocious. He said it was terrible. Sean Payton said that, okay, about his offense after he had just won, after they had beaten the Buccaneers. I'm just. How do you convince these people? I just don't get it.
Um, we have a couple of super chats and also a slight echo.
Okay. Let's see. John Thomas Chavez. Let me find him. There he is. John Thomas Chavez. Hey, John. $5 super chat. He says, let's keep in mind that ESPN and Fox Sports are owned by the same mother company, Disney. So two sides of the same coin. It's a very good point, John. And for those of you who don't know, Rupert Murdoch sold a lot of his companies under the Fox brand, which includes Fox Sports. I think it's Fox Sports. But also, and mainly what they were going after was Fox, the movie studio. So they wanted the rights to all of that. They did not acquire Fox News, but I think they did acquire Fox Sports. I think you're right, John. But yeah, if that's the case, for some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I thought that they didn't get Fox Sports. I had wondered that too, but maybe I read that wrong. But I had thought that Rupert Murdoch had only sold Disney the movie studio, but in the local affiliates. But maybe he did. But if he did, yeah, you're right. That makes perfect sense. That you're getting the same approach from both sides. So. We got a $5 super chat from Psycho Mantis. He says, in Tampa Bay, Tom has to learn a new system. In New England, Tom was the system. Very well said. In New England, for a lot of you guys, Psycho Mantis is absolutely correct. Bill Belichick has very little to do with the offense. Okay? He lets Josh and Tom basically do what they want to do. I'm sure he's got input. Of course he does. Okay? I'm sure he's hands-on as far as in practice, and I do know that Bill Belichick meets with the quarterback. So in this case, it was Brady, and then Bledsoe before that. But Belichick meets privately with Brady, and they talk about the game plan for several hours together. And nobody is allowed in those meetings. Nobody knows what's said in those meetings. But outside of those things, the offense is about the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. So, very good point, Psycho Mantis. Hey, my niece is here, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Okay. See it twice. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so I was right. So Fox Sports was not included. That's what I thought. I thought Rupert Murdoch kept Fox News and Fox Sports. I thought he did. But yeah, someone said it's for the Marvel characters. I didn't even know Fox owned the Marvel characters. Didn't know that. But I also don't watch a lot of Marvel movies. I like the DC characters more, the DC movies. I don't know whoever owns that studio, but anyway, I like I said, I cannot believe I'm sitting here having to like point out things about the Patriots just to defend Tom. I mean, this is how stupid this has gotten. Listen, guys, it might be until the mid to end of October now, okay, before we truly know what all these teams are about. We're in uncharted territory here, okay? Everything is unpredictable, everything. And if you're honest with yourself and not full of crap, you'll admit this fact, that none of us know what the hell is going on, all right? None of us. Not even the people in the NFL know. The sloppiness was everywhere. Even for Mahomes. You remember the Mahomes, the Chiefs-Texans game? That had sloppiness. Of course, the kicking game was a freaking disaster. I don't know what's going on. I might have to come out of retirement. Okay? So, check me out. I'm coming back, baby. All right. Stupid-ass procedural penalties. Okay? Everyone remember the Buccaneers defense? Drew got them to go offsides on 4th down. Idiots. Listen, the refs are making bad decisions. Why? Because they needed the preseason too to get used to game speed. Okay? Everyone has to get ready for that. The coaches need the preseason to adjust to the game, to really know what their players are about. Preseason, in my opinion, is as important as any other factor. But just for those Patriots fans out there that thought it was funny that Brady lost, listen, I saw Cam struggle several times at the line. All right? He allowed several plays to get blown up quickly by the Dolphins defense. Several. And those are things that Brady would have anticipated and would have seen and would have made changes. Okay? Yeah. So, see, I can do it too. Look, I can point out stupid crap that makes no difference. I can do it too. So, let's just pick on everybody then.
Yeah, what you're saying is we don't really know what's going to happen. Can you hear me?
Hear me well? Repeat that? I'm just agreeing what you were saying earlier is that we don't really know what's going to happen, especially for those two teams that we care about, or Tom that we care about, and the Patriots. But what Max was saying, I was listening to something yesterday, and what he was saying is, yeah, but Cam can do it better because he doesn't need the same weapons, you know. That's what he said. Like, Cam's better, and he doesn't need the same weapons like Tom did. So, yeah, he has more faith in that. No, for real, he said that. I'll find that quote. I was like, wow. And he's rooting for the Patriots now. Yeah, Max.
So after week 1.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
After week 1, Cam doesn't need weapons anymore. I don't know. For any of you guys who watched the Patriots game the other day, did you notice that not one of those receivers could get separation for crap? I mean, they were totally not practicing the COVID rules, okay? The COVID rules of distancing and social distancing and all that stuff. No. They were making love to the Dolphins' defensive backs. I saw the same stuff as I saw last year from them. Same stuff. Okay? It takes time. Okay? Now, it's just so stupid. One freaking game. One game. But anyway, again, I'm not being petty. I'm saying this to make a point, okay? I don't really believe these things about Cam. I'm not picking on Cam. I'm not picking on them. I'm just trying to show you that I can do it too. You know, you want to pick upon Tom? Well, I can pick on anybody else. I know why Cam struggled in those areas. Cam is on a new team. New calls, new offense, new teammates, okay? New coaches. An opponent he knows nothing about. How many times has Cam played the Miami Dolphins in his career? Once, twice, maybe. That's if he wasn't injured. He knows nothing about them, okay? And there were plenty of failed drives, okay? Plenty of failed drives that could have been exploited by a team if they were better than the Dolphins. if they were playing someone else. All right? And as for Bill versus Brady again, nothing but the quarterback has changed for Belichick. Okay? Belichick, his way, his guys, all the core elements, right? All the core elements are there. His offensive coordinator is the same guy. He still has Edelman and he still has Matthew Slater to push the Patriot way in the locker room. That was something that Tom did before. But wait, I thought Brady could just win. I'm sorry. I thought that Belichick, Milena, I thought he could only win. Or I thought Belichick could win with any quarterback. Like, he doesn't need Brady. Okay? I thought Brady was just a system quarterback. I love that. System quarterback. I like when they say that. By the way, most guys who use that term, system quarterback, or say that Tom is a check down quarterback, when you see morons say that stuff, it means that they don't know what those things mean. It literally means that. Because if they knew what that stuff meant, they actually wouldn't say it.
He's a systematic quarterback who systematically wins.
That's a very good point. Systematically wins, yeah. Now, if that's so, if Belichick can just win with anybody, why didn't he go with the Stidham, the unknown? Why did you replace him with an MVP? Yeah. Well, that's weird. Now, why would Belichick do that, I wonder? You guys know it's the first time ever that an MVP quarterback has been replaced with an MVP? I said that earlier, but I'm just going to say it again. Did you know it's the first time that's ever happened? Yeah. They're going around acting like that Belichick replaced Brady with Nathan freaking Peterman. Okay? This is Cam Newton we're talking about. Before he got injured a couple of years ago, this dude was on pace to have a better season than his 2015 campaign where he got the MVP. That was just 2 years ago. And we're not talking about some old man. Cam is definitely still in his physical prime. Yep. As long as he's not injured, I don't see why he can't be that great.
He's still got it.
Okay. Yeah, he still got it. Well, by the way, guess who also ran for a touchdown? Tom Brady. Tom Brady ran for a touchdown. By the way, Tom Brady had 3 touchdowns in that game against the Saints. And I'll say it again. The Saints, probably the best team in the league, the most complete team, probably, if not damn close. They've got the best offensive coach in the league, I think, with Sean Payton. A great quarterback and great players and a fantastic defense. And man, that secondary was everywhere. But Tom Brady rushed for a touchdown, something, the old and slow guy who's not supposed to do that. So what does that mean? If Cam ran for 2 touchdowns and everyone's saying how great he is, but Tom threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 1, even though he's slow, Tom is not supposed to do that, what does that mean? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. It means nothing. Okay? Belichick got a Dolphins team who's a perennial shit show. All right? At home, meaning none of their routines are disrupted. Okay? A team he's extremely familiar with, although we shouldn't forget that this is the Dolphins team that Belichick let Ryan Fitzpatrick come back on them last year in Week 17 after Brady had put the game away. All right? Now, even a team like the Dolphins, they can pose a threat in Miami, but they rarely are a threat in New England, and we all know that. And compare that all the things that Brady was contending with, okay? So this is just stupid.
Hey, we had a super chat.
They're making it hard for me to even enjoy anything anymore because they're such assholes. It's like, I just don't want to see them be bragging all the time.
Yeah. People are just talking for the sake of argument and drama, I think, these days, more than they're actually saying anything.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's going to be a great game. The Patriots are playing the Seahawks. All right? We're talking Russell Wilson, baby. All right? Yeah. By the way, I'm just saying it right now. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. He is the best quarterback in the NFL. If I could pick any quarterback, if I was starting a team, I'd take Russell Wilson. What do you get?
He's younger.
You get the intelligence. Okay? He's freaking smart, dude. All right? Extremely smart. He's got all that down. He's been in the league long enough. He's seen pretty much every defense, right? Great arm. The dude can just sling it anywhere he wants. He can run. He could run like Lamar Jackson or any of those guys, right? He's focused. His demeanor is awesome. He's a leader. This guy's the best player in the NFL. Okay? That's who the Patriots are going up against tomorrow. It's not going to be easy. And guess what? If the Patriots lose to the Seahawks, I'm not going to say, ha, 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 the Patriots suck. Cam Newton sucks because they lost to the Seahawks. No, what I'm going to say is, that was a damn tough game. Okay? That was Seattle on the road. A great team, great quarterback. Very good coach. Pete Carroll's a good coach. And I'll say that it's just a tough game. The same thing that Brady had against the Saints. Same thing. I just wish we could all enjoy it together, honestly. It's a shame. It actually is a real shame. But again, if you guys, some of y'all who just tuned in, I am not talking about you if you're not like that. If you're from Boston and you're not a Brady hater, I am not talking to you. But I'm telling you, there are some people who just get under my skin. They just, ugh.
Super chat.
Oh, okay. Cool. I don't see a new one.
It's up there, Psycho Mantis. Did you read it back then?
I'd already read that one.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it's not on the wall. So.
Yeah, he said in Tampa Bay, Tom has learned a new system. In New England, Tom was the system.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, well, they lost Tyree. They lost Michael Thomas. But you know when they lost Michael Thomas? They lost Michael Thomas when they should have benched him. They lost him. I said, remember, Milena, I said, why are they still doing that? Why is Breeze out there? Why are they still throwing the ball? What are they doing? Why aren't they just trying to ice this game?
Yeah, and then boom.
There he is out there stat whoring all day long. And Michael Thomas gets randomly knocked into an ankle. He had no reason to be out there. It was completely pointless.
Yeah, you totally called it.
Huh?
You totally called it.
I called it. I called it to her. I said, "What is he doing out there? What are they?" I said, "They." I didn't just mean Michael Thomas. I meant all of Drew Brees. The Predator? What's he doing out there? I said the same thing, and I was like, Kamara. Yeah, thank you. What's he doing out there? And then Michael Thomas gets his ankle rolled. So, I guess that's what you get, right? Boston Sports Talk, what's up? He says it's not like that in Boston. Most people are cheering for Brady. That's great. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. You know what that means? That means that the idiots are the loudest.
Yeah.
And when I was young, my dad told me a saying. He said, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. The thing that squeals the loudest gets the most attention, and apparently the people who hate Brady are making the most noise. So, Josh, what's up, man? Welcome. Raven, number 52, Ray Lewis, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. He said, I just said that the game will be ugly tomorrow. It's going to be very difficult. Shaq says Russell Wilson's abilities are unlimited. Exactly. I want to know right now where his weaknesses are. The dude has no weaknesses. Speaking of the Ravens, I'm assuming this guy's a Ravens fan. I hope so, with a name like that. They look pretty damn good. I know it's only week 1, but they looked good last year too. So there's no reason to think that they're not going to continue looking good. They look like a great team.
Boston Talk says, Max Kellerman ever came to Boston, he would definitely get beat up.
Good. Good, Boston Sports Talk. I'm glad to hear it. Does anyone have a more punchable face than Max Kellerman when he smirks, when he smiles and thinks that he said something so great? Does anyone have a more punchable face than him?
It's pretty punchable to me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nick Wright, but Israel, Chris Sims.
Any of them are good.
There's several contenders here.
Israel, what's up?
Bob Parker.
Hey, Sterling. Is that say? That's strange. The way it's written. Sterling Sapien. Welcome, man. Haven't seen you here before. He says Russell Wilson, most balanced player in the NFL. Absolutely. Shaq, I did not know that was a meme, but it's still true. So does it change the fact? Well, the reason I wouldn't pick He Who Shall Not Be Named, which is initials RP, the reason I don't pick him is because I honestly think that the guy is mentally handicapped. Okay, I seriously think, and not the kind of mental handicap like someone with a legitimate problem. It's just, I mean, just very stupid. Very, very stupid. Like, even when he speaks, the way he talks, it just comes across as like, wow, this guy's a moron. So there's almost that factor of, it's like pistol whipping a blind kid. All right? So punching him in the face would be kind of, it feels almost wrong. But Max Kellerman, the reason I want to punch Max Kellerman is because he knows. Yeah. He knows what he's saying. He knows better. And, and when he smiles, my God. Yeah. Oh, pretty annoying. Dude. Max Kellerman, I am challenging you to a UFC fight in the octagon. Me versus you. All right? And the winner gets to fight Chris Sims. Well, I don't know about that. Chris Sims is like, what is he, like 6'5", 220? Okay, not Chris Sims, okay? Even though Chris Sims is a douche, I'm not going to do that because you're in a different weight class than me. I challenge Nick Wright. But his nose probably weighs more than mine, so I don't know. I'm sure it'd be fine.
Hey, you missed the super chat.
Yes, John Thomas Chavez, I do know Taekwondo, actually. But that I wasn't even thinking about that when I said it. I just wanted an excuse to punch Max Kellerman. Yeah. If we can get into the octagon, then, you know, we can't get in trouble or sued or anything like that. It's just a sanctioned fight. It's worth it, okay? So even if he beats me, I'll still be able to say that I punched him in the face, and that I think is good enough. So.
Psycho Mantis, $5 super chat.
Psycho dropping the $5 super chat. He says Russell Wilson's weaknesses. Oh man. Damn. Russell Wilson weaknesses. 1. Malcolm Butler. Come on, man. Why did you have to say that? Okay, it's true. It's true. We all know Russell Wilson threw that pick at the 1 yard line to Malcolm Butler for the Patriots' victory. But since then, way better. But that was funny. That was really funny. That was good, Psycho Mantis. Nice job. By the way, the Stanley Cup has started. It's the Dallas Stars, my team, versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now think about this. If the Tampa Bay Lightning wins the Stanley Cup, that could be an omen for Tom Brady. But at least it's an omen already because they went to the finals. Now, a lot of times, teams in the same city tend to either go to the finals or win the finals in different sports. I don't know why. Yeah, it creates some kind of like, it's happened in Boston several times, but it also happens in other cities quite often. Yeah. It's some kind of weird effect going on. And yeah, so with the Tampa Bay Lightning being in the Stanley Cup Finals, maybe the Bucks make it there. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, but no city has, I think, at least in the last, during my lifetime, no city has done that more than Boston. Yeah. Boston are the kings at everybody being awesome at the same time. You know, like there'll be times the Celtics will go to the finals, and then you'd have the Patriots, or the Red Sox would win a World Series. You'd have the Patriots, or then you'd have even the Bruins. It's just Boston seems to always have a lot of teams in the final, or a lot of different sports in the finals. But yeah.
Hey, check out the super chat.
The Red Coat is back with another 10-pound super chat. Aaron, you fight Nick Wright. I'll happily fight that idiot Chris Sims. Minimum 50 rounds. That's right. That's right. Okay, perfect.
That's a good deal.
So Jason, you're going to fight Chris Sims. Okay, so Jason is taller than me and much bigger. So Jason is about the same, probably the same size as Chris Sims. So, okay, so Jason Patrick Saunders, you're in his weight class. You take him down. That will be phenomenal. So.
Nick Wright. Oh my God, Nick Wright is only 5'7".
Yeah, that's why I picked him.
Okay. That's good.
I may be tall, but I don't weigh a lot. And when it comes to things like UFC, and boxing, just any combat sports like that, weight class is important. Yeah. It's not about height; it's about weight class. So. But if you have like longer hands, you can block better, right? You can. Yeah, but if Chris Sims, okay, he's just probably like an inch taller than me, but if he outweighs me by 60 pounds, yeah, no. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? He could just, it's just going to be difficult. So I guess I'd have to, okay, I got this. If I had to fight Chris Sims in the octagon, I'd need time to prepare, right? I would just gain weight. So I'd, start doing all that crap. But no. I like the better Red Coat, Jason Patrick Saunders versus Chris Sims. I'll take Nick Wright.
That's good.
And, yeah, so. Although, maybe if I punch him, Nick Wright, enough, I can actually make him better looking. Swear to God, that dude's face is so screwed up. I mean, I don't make fun of people's looks, except him. Except. There's always an exception. Except Nick Wright. Actually, that reminds me. Do you remember at the in 20? I think it's into 2015. The Republican debates. Remember all those guys, Republicans? And she goes, talking to Trump, she goes, you've called women slobs, fat bitches or something, pigs or whatever it was. Pigs. And instead of denying it, he goes, only Rosie O'Donnell.
That was a good one.
So,
Correction. No,
Correction. So I'll admit it. I don't normally make fun of people's looks, but except for Nick Wright. So screw him. But yeah.
Chris Sims what? So.
Addie, by the way, thank you, Red Coat, for all your super chats. I really appreciate it, man. All you guys are amazing. But yeah. BB, he says, oh, this is funny. I know it's not a super chat, but I got to put this up. Yeah. He says, the difference is Tom Brady's the GOAT and Cam Newton is the pussy who wouldn't jump on a fumble in the Super Bowl. I can't disagree with that. So there you go. I mean, that was a long time ago, and it still looks bad, but as long as he doesn't believe that now, because if he still thinks that way, I'm telling you this, tomorrow against the Seahawks, if Cam Newton fumbles and he doesn't go for that ball, if it's in reaching distance for him, it's over. It's over. Jarrett Stidham or Brian Hoyer's throwing the ball after that. If he chooses not to go out to fumble. You guys remember Tom Brady against the Dolphins in a regular season game? The ball gets stripped from Tom, and he reaches out as far as he can to grab it as if he was just jumping on a grenade to protect his children. Okay? That was in a regular season game that they were killing the Dolphins. I mean, it meant nothing. Tom could have literally just said, I'm not doing that. But he went for it. Everybody went after it. He could have gotten badly injured. That was just regular season. So, no. If Cam still tries something like that, doesn't go after the fumble, yeah, he's in trouble.
Hey, another super chat. See it twice. On the same topic.
See, guys, here's the deal with super chats. I have to read what you say. So if you pay for it, I've got to read it. So, Mom and Dad, I know both of you are watching tonight. Close your ears. $5 super chat from See It Twice. He says, if Nick Wright walked into a wall with a full erection, he'd break his nose.
Try to mask it. Why am I laughing? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Ouch.
Okay.
I like that. That was funny. Good job. $5 super chat from our lovable winner. Winner. And Addie, normally it's our lovable loser, but tonight it's winner. $5 super chat from Addie. He says, Browns D-line. We're stopping the run game and we're sacking Burrow. Browns secondary, however. I'm a head out. Yes, the secondary was garbage. Or maybe they weren't as garbage. I don't know. Maybe we should give Joe Burrow some credit. Maybe. Okay, yeah, they were pretty garbage. I was just trying to look on the bright side here. I didn't want to completely crap on Addie's parade, especially since he's... yeah, Addie, no, that means his nose is so big that even if he had a full erection, it wouldn't stop him from breaking his nose against the wall. That was pretty good. Yes, Megan. Yes, Megan. Your grandmother and grandfather are watching the show tonight.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure they're thrilled with all the things I've said tonight.
It's okay. I'm sure they're laughing.
Okay. So, there's something else I want to talk about.
Oh no.
Now, if you guys are sensitive to, political topics or anything that's going on in the NFL right now regarding those things, I'm just giving you a heads up. That's what I'm about to talk about for a few minutes. And so there's your fair warning. But so the Pittsburgh Steelers apparently they had a vote. They had a vote on certain names to wear on the back of the helmet. Now, my reaction is to Shannon Sharp's reaction after what I'm about to tell you. But the three players on the Steelers, I believe it was Minka Fitzpatrick was involved. I don't think he was one of them. I think he was just a guy who told the truth about what happened. Then there was Villanueva. I think that's his name or how you pronounce it. And Mike Pouncey. Mike Pouncey is a huge supporter of policemen. And Villanueva is a former military guy. He was even in Afghanistan. Just like our redcoat, Jason Patrick Saunders, and Jason, heads up, this is going to offend you badly as a soldier, and as a soldier who worked closely with our American forces. So you were practically the same. So yeah. The guy they chose to be on the back of the helmet, apparently, do you have his name, Elena, by any chance?
The guy that chose something, Rose.
Let's see. Antoine.
His last name was Rose, correct?
Yeah, the first name is Antoine.
So the guy that was going to go on the back of the helmet. But as it turns out, that guy was involved in a drive-by shooting. Why would you want to wear that guy's name on your helmet, right? So Villanueva had marked out that name somehow or something, and then took a Sharpie. I guess he got white out or something. I have no idea. The point is he got rid of it. He got rid of that name, and then he wrote the name of a black guy who died in the line of duty serving our country. Okay. So Villanueva marked out a guy who was involved in a drive-by shooting, who unloaded a clip in people into other cars, and marked it out, and then put the name of a actual black fallen soldier.
Yeah, actually a war hero.
A war hero.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
He saved people.
Then we found out that it wasn't voted on, that it was mandated. That's interesting. However, Shannon Sharp, of course, like everyone else, finds out about this. And he says that what Villanueva did was terrible. It was awful. He went outside of protocol. He says they had an agreement. The Rose guy, the guy who did the drive-by, his mother came out and said, "Oh, I was so disappointed and hurt that he crossed my name out and crossed my son's name out and then put the other guy." Okay, really? So Shannon Sharp says that he went rogue. Okay, he went rebel on the team and didn't go with what the team wanted. Well, apparently there was no vote. Apparently it was mandated. So that shouldn't be like that. That's problem number one, right? Then he says, no player should go rogue. You should do what the team wants. You should do your job and do what you're supposed to do.
He even went ahead and compared it to the
military. Football teams to the military, where if everybody agreed to do something and if you did something different would be so wrong, which for the military I understand, but in this situation it's not the same thing.
Thank you so much for mentioning that because I forgot about that part.
Yeah, and they just and
Totally agreed with it, and it's just been this huge issue now. They're, you know, condemning him for making his own decision and not sticking with the group. Like, what happened to freedom of speech? What happened to, people having their own opinions, standing up for something? And it's just a huge mess right now. Everybody is totally condemning him.
Again, thank you so much for mentioning that because I completely forgot about that part of it.
yeah.
But yes, Shannon Sharp did compare it, being on a team, he said, compared to military. Okay? He said, you fall in line, you take orders, you do what you're supposed to do. Okay. The reason this is a problem for Shannon saying something like this is because I seem to remember a guy in San Francisco wearing the number 7 who went rogue and kneeled during the national anthem.
Oh no, that's not a problem.
Well, wait a minute. I'm so confused. I thought you can't go rogue. You've got to follow the rules. You've got to do what you're told.
Group, do what everybody else does.
Oh, I see now. Okay. Here's the problem. You can't have it both ways. You can't say it's okay for Colin to go rogue and he's just doing a good thing, expressing his First Amendment right, but then shit on top of the Steelers guy who goes rogue to put a player on the helmet. No, what Shannon's problem really is, okay, what the truth is that he's mad because it wasn't the right name. Okay? Now, we'll get back to Shannon in a second. But I noticed something the other night. During the Browns-Bengals game, they removed the slogans from the field. There were no slogans at the end of both end zones. Now, I don't know if the different location had something to do with that. I don't see why that would make a difference because they've got to paint the field no matter what, no matter where they're at. The game was not in Cleveland, I don't think. But why would that matter, right? So there was no slogans on the field. Not anymore. What were the slogans last week? The slogans were, Milena, they said stuff like end racism or actually not even that. They actually just said unity, equality, we can do this together, stuff like that. Okay, I may not be getting the words exactly correct, but stuff like that, right? But now they've removed it and I tried to find out why they did that. I don't know. But if they removed it because of the ratings problem, the people pissed off, I just want to say that I am massively insulted by them removing those things. Okay? I am massively insulted. Here's why. The NFL is so stupid, okay? They are so clueless and so brainwashed that they think that people's objections to the NFL right now, our objections are because we're all racist. They literally sit around in a room in a focus group, okay, and say, well, our racist ass fans who won't watch our games, to get them back, we're going to have to remove the slogans from the field. You stupid jerk-offs. Our problem is not the slogans. Our problem is you painting Black Lives Matter on shit. Okay? The same thing that the NBA does. The NBA, half the freaking court is covered in Black Lives Matter. It's almost as big as the NBA logo. Why in the world would any of us have a problem with slogans about unity, about working together, people having an equal chance at achieving things. Why in the hell would we have a problem with that? No one has a problem with any of these slogans except that one. It is a communist Marxist organization. Whatever it stood for when it first started is long gone. It has been completely hijacked. It has been infiltrated. It is now taken over. And it is a political organization. Putting Black Lives Matter on a basketball court or on a football field or anywhere else, you might as well, there is no different. You might as well put Democratic Party, you might as well put whatever you want, Communist Party, whatever you want to do, okay? Now you're in the area of what? You're promoting a political agenda. Propaganda. And you're alienating over half of your fan base. Yeah. So, I am absolutely insulted that if they thought that removing those slogans was to appease us racist assholes. Dude, they so missed the point. My God, all right? Everyone agrees that people should be treated equally. Everyone agrees that everyone should have a chance at a good life. Everyone agrees that you shouldn't be judged by your race or religion or anything like that. This is self-evident stuff. This is stuff that we all agree with. No one is disagreeing with that. Okay? Just like when we find out that when police brutality actually does happen, everyone agrees. Send those guys to jail. No one was arguing the fact. So I see this massive miscommunication between the two sides. They literally think that we're offended by slogans of peace. What the hell? Boy, you couldn't be more wrong. You couldn't, my God. I mean, that pisses me off, you know? And our only other stipulation was just don't put anybody on the helmets that is guilty of murdering somebody or raping someone.
Or doing a, what do you call, like
a mass shooting. Somebody who, one of them.
Dude, they
stabbed a few people
in the meantime. And tried to stab the cop or resisted, being a criminal who has killed people or and then tried to actually escape, and not only that, but hurt the cops.
So why would Shannon, if he cares about Black lives, why would he be mad about a black soldier's name but not be but be for the other guy who was in a drive-by?
Yeah. None of his arguments make sense.
Right. And here's why, and I'll answer that for you. Because it's not about black lives, okay? It's about the right kind of lives. Yeah. Because it is political. It's all political. All of it. All of it. Nobody cares, okay? They don't care.
He even said it. He said
you're not supporting the cause. He was referring to Alejandro. I can't pronounce his last name. He actually said those words. I listened to carefully. He said he's not supporting the cause. Was that like a Freudian slip or what? The cause? What is the cause? The narrative. Specific case which is used for the elections from a specific party that we all know which one it is against another one. And let's blame everything on Trump if we can. Like for these killings, I'm sure that Trump is the reason, right? Like he has anything to do with the local police.
And see, okay, that's another misconception that people have in this country, or in America, right? Listen, all of us American kids, every kid who who goes to school in America, we all had to take civics. For most of us, it's in 9th grade. In civics class, we learn. We learn about how our system of government works. Okay? We learn about the sovereignty and power of the states. We learn about what's federal and what is state, what the president can do and what he can't do. If your city is burning down, it is because of the people who are locally elected. It's because your mayor is an idiot. It's because your police chief is corrupt and he's hiring piece of shit people to be policemen, if they're doing that. Okay? If you're a cop and you're just going around picking on people for no damn reason, you are a piece of crap and you're just as bad as everyone else that's doing this stuff. But if you've got that kind of problem in your police precinct, that is on the police chief. Then it's on the mayor. And then it's on the governor. Okay? Listen, do you think if the president had so much power to do all this stuff, don't you think President Obama would have cleaned up his own city, Chicago?
For 8 years?
For 8 years. Obama was president for 8 years, and he never could do anything about Chicago. Chicago kept getting worse. That's his town. That's his city that he loves. Why didn't he do anything about it? Because he can't. Because Chicago's problems are Chicago's problems, and Illinois, their problems. Okay? People seem to not understand state sovereignty and state powers. It's the same thing. Don't you think Trump wants to do something about New York City? Because it's being ran into the ground. It's becoming a shithole again.
Yeah.
All right?
Dictator that he is.
The dictator himself. Don't you think he would want to do something about New York City?
If he was a dictator, real dictator, like they're accusing
him of, he would have done it a long time ago. So I want to know how he is the dictator. What is the scare there? The scaring everybody. Oh, Trump is gonna whatever do to you. It's like the boogeyman, the Baba Yaga. I don't know what he is.
Don't you think he would want to see New York City do better? Don't you think Obama would want to see Chicago do better? Okay? It's because
they don't have direct
local
power. Yeah.
If you have a problem, if you are a black guy who feels like you're getting picked on by the cops, that is not federal. That you need to go and change that.
Yeah, and sue them, and
that means your mayor is a corrupt piece of crap. That means that your city council sucks. Yeah. That means that your police force is corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anybody turning on these people. Why aren't anyone asking these questions? Everyone hates the guy,
Orange Man.
Derek Chauvin. Okay, Derek Chauvin, who stood on top of George Floyd. Derek Chauvin had a record a mile long on his police record.
Yeah, why was he still a cop?
He has been in trouble for other stuff, kind of like I think almost exactly like that. He's had a million complaints. Why is he still on the police force?
And who's his boss that kept him? And the boss of that boss is definitely not Donald Trump.
Exactly.
So why trying to accuse like the conservatives or make it political anyway? There's nothing political about this.
Okay, well my mic was off for some reason, but I'll repeat.
Anyway,
I'm saying that Derek Chauvin, he had a list a mile long. He had a record, a bad police record of doing things like this, and he had a very bad temper apparently, and he used his power a lot. Okay, and why was he still on duty? How can a guy with so much complaints against him, how can that guy still be allowed to be policing people?
Yeah.
Whose fault is that? Somehow it's the evil KKK.
Yeah. Like ghosts from the past? Like what, from last century or
Who?
something?
Listen. That is your police force. Whoever was in charge of that police force, go to the guy who makes those decisions. Go to your police chief. Go to the mayor. If a guy like that is still out there, that is where you stop it. Okay? The number one problem that police would have in this country is that the hiring, okay, the act of hiring people The standards are very low. Okay? You got to raise the standards. You got to raise the pay grade. And then things will change.
Yeah, instead of
Funding the police, right? You have to actually invest in better training, like you said, and better cops, better selection process.
But that's on the cop side, okay?
yeah.
That's on that aspect. Listen, a lot of kids from school that I remember from school that were total jerk-offs, that picked on people, bullied people, okay? A lot of those guys went on to be policemen, okay?
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a teenager, we would do just random stuff. We weren't doing anything wrong, and cops would just bug us. They would bug us. They would like mess with us and stuff. That's who you hired. Okay? So instead of defunding the police, you actually give them more funding, and then you start attracting people who want to be a policeman. You start attracting people who are like in the military service, who are very trained, very they understand situations like the red coat, Jason Patrick Saunders can attest to. When you are in battle, you learn how to use force. You learn when and where you should do it. You don't panic. You don't freak out. You know exactly how to do that. Those are the type of guys that you need applying for jobs as a policeman. You're never going to attract somebody by paying them $30,000 a year at the risk of being killed any moment they walk out the door and get in their car. Okay? Who is going to take that job? If you live in Los Angeles, why in the world would you take that job? What is it, $35K, $40 at the most? That's nothing in Los Angeles, guys. That's almost poverty in LA. I'm telling you right now. What kind of person would risk their life for that little money, who would go into bad areas and get shot at? Who would do that? The only kind of person who'd do that for such crap money is either someone who wants power, so they're doing it because they want power, which is, that's bad already, right? Or someone who's a little crazy, and someone who's not qualified.
Yeah, it's scary, basically.
Okay? So there's your problem. On the other side, it's very simple. Stop committing crimes. Okay?
And if you
Stop it.
Don't resist.
And if you get caught,
Don't resist the police.
you get caught.
Everyone knows that.
Okay? You get caught. If they catch you, they caught you. It's over. They outsmarted you. Live to fight another day. Chill out. Okay?
Don't talk. Everything you say will be used against you.
And that is so true.
Wait for your attorney. Don't put up a fight. Don't pull out a gun. Don't pull out a knife. Don't try karate. Nothing.
I don't know. It's just.
I'm telling you right now, everything you say can and will be used against you. Keep your mouth shut. Don't talk. Say nothing. They will use it. They will say stuff to you. They'll get you to confess things you didn't even know you were mentioned, even if you're innocent. Do not say a word. Don't say a word. Keep your mouth shut. But I would highly recommend, just don't break the law. I think that not breaking the law is probably the most effective way of not having problems. Of course, there's always going to be people who have problems. There's going to be some asshole cop who's picking on some guy for whatever reason, and then it happens.
Everywhere.
It happens everywhere. Okay?
To me. You know how many times I've been pulled over just for a stupid tail light?
No, I'm not. But I'm not talking about traffic violation. I'm talking about like legitimate harassment.
No, but I'm saying they actually are mean, some of them. But I mean, I don't say anything, and if I start,
But what I'm referring to is like when a cop says, "Oh, hey, look at that dude, because he looks like a gangbanger. Let's go mess with him."
Yeah.
That's I'm not referring to like traffic stops. I'm talking about like just that kind of stuff. Does it happen? Of course it does.
Yeah.
But it is certainly not near at the level that everyone is making it sound like, because I can tell you this much. This is why. It's always blown up on television. Why is it blown up on television? Why do people react to it? Because it's rare. Okay? These type of stories that we hear don't happen that often. That's why they get a lot of coverage.
Yeah. Exactly.
America is a big country. A lot of major cities, and you got a lot of bad people in everywhere, in every facet, in every job. Whether they're politicians, whether they're policemen, whether they're just regular citizens, people are going to do what they do, and shit happens. But for some isolated incidents, things that, when you put the numbers together, things like this is not worth tearing the country down for and everybody trying to kill each other. This is just absolute madness. Okay? And everything that the NFL is doing right now, they do not care about black lives. They do not care about black people.
Oh, yeah.
Roger Goodell said, I'm sorry, Cap. He apologized to Colin Kaepernick, said, I'm sorry, we didn't listen to you. If you're sorry, if you really believe that, Roger Goodell, then how come Colin Kaepernick is not in the NFL? Can anyone answer that question? Why is Colin Kaepernick not in the NFL right now if Roger Goodell believes that Colin Kaepernick was right and wants his forgiveness? Why is Colin still out of a job?
No one wants him. Well,
Interesting.
yeah.
Because it's bullshit. It's total bullshit. The NFL is doing the bare minimum they think they can get away with in order to promote whatever agenda they're trying to promote.
The NFL does not want to be
Canceled. They've seen what's happening. Yeah, cancel culture. So basically, they're like, okay, we got to embrace this. I can just imagine their meetings and the people that I work with sometimes in marketing and all these places have brilliant ideas sometimes. And let's just, go along with this. But what they really are doing is trying not to be canceled and say, we're the good guys. Don't touch us. Don't do anything to us. Don't cancel us, basically.
It's
But again, it's everyone missing the point. Our side, whatever that is, I don't even know what that means. The other side, basically, I guess anybody who isn't, who's opposed to this the political side of it. God, you've got it so wrong. At least I know for myself and people I know.
Yeah.
That was never our problem. My God, it's so stupid. The cluelessness of the NFL and these athletes and the NBA, the cluelessness, they think that that's what we think. Unbelievable. No. We're not the ones wanting to segregate people, okay? We're not the ones who are trying to remove black people from products, okay? We're not the ones who do those things. Hey, Mickey.
Yeah.
So she just takes off on me, doesn't even tell me. Anyway, I'm saying we're not the ones who want to remove black people from products. We're not the ones who want to remove Native Americans from football teams. Okay? So you want to change your name from Redskins. Why didn't you just go from Redskins to Indians or something related to that? Kind of like you got the Chiefs and you got the Braves and the Seminoles and things like that. Why didn't you do that? Why? Because the owner felt like he was being railroaded, so he retaliated, and by retaliating, he said, I'm just going to get rid of anything Native American. Screw you. And now they're doing it to where the Kansas City Chiefs fans can't even wear that. So you tell me, who are the ones who are racist? Who are the ones trying to not promote diversity? Because it's people like me who are saying, why the hell are you removing this stuff? This is their culture. This is what why are you screwing that up? Anyway, I just don't get it. I'm the one saying, what's with all this segregation crap? Okay? I thought I mean, that's not me. I'm not doing that. So, but anyway,
Some people are doing it just to get attention.
yeah. But now, a team like the Washington Redskins, a team that's been around for a long, one of the oldest teams in the NFL, 3 Super Bowls, and now if you're a native, you're no longer represented by that organization. I would be absolutely pissed off if I was them or something along those lines. I'd be like, what? And now they're going to be called something probably very generic, very generic. That has nothing to do with anything. They're going to pick something as boring and neutral as possible so they don't have to deal with any backlash again, right? So, look who's back. So, they're going to do something mundane now. And then it's only a matter of time before the Chiefs going to change their name and the Atlanta Braves are going to change their name. And after it's all said and done, guess what happens? No teams named after Native Americans. Wow. Well, Milena, I don't know about you, but if you're a white supremacist sitting around trying to keep everything white, that sounds perfect to you. Let's get rid of all Indians off of all teams. Get them damn Indians off of our teams.
Yeah.
It's got to be white people. Rename the Washington Redskins to the Washington Senators, which is basically white people. Okay? A huge majority is white people, right? So we're going to get rid of that. Well, that's a white supremacist's wet dream, is it not? Let's get Uncle Ben off of the rice. Let's get Aunt Jemima off of the syrup on every white kid's breakfast table.
Right.
If you're a white supremacist, dude, this is playing right into your hands. This is exactly what you want. I mean, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Has no one else noticed this? Has anybody? Please tell me if I'm not the only one who's been. It's just driving me insane.
We're living in the upside down lately, so anything goes.
Unbelievable.
By the way, we had 2 super chats. I don't know if you.
Oh shit! I went on a long rant there.
Yeah.
Oh, Nightly Sinister. I know who that is. That is my friend Kevin Stratton. I've known him since kindergarten.
Oh, that's right. Hi, Kevin.
And Kevin, how are you doing, man? And I did. Is this the first time you've ever been on the show? Well, no, you were actually on for a long time. Yeah. Kevin, by the way, I was trying to get a hold of you through the Xbox server and on Skype, but very sorry to hear about your mother, Brenda, and tell her I wish her the best. Actually, if the phone number is still the same, I'd like to call her. I don't know if she's up to taking calls right now, but Kevin, he sends a $5 super chat, and he says, unfortunately, if Obama would have been president still, this would have blown up tenfold. All lives matter. Yes, and Milena, Kevin is married to a Hispanic girl. So I've known her, I think I've known her for about 15 years, actually. Wow. Time's going by really fast. Thank you, Kevin, so much. I really appreciate your super chat. William Walls, $5 super chat. He says, thanks for speaking the truth. You're welcome. But honestly, to me, it's just common sense. Yeah, we're having a little difficulty with the mics, so I'm trying to navigate it. So when Milena says something, I try to focus on her mic and then take mine away. That way you don't get that weird echo. So yeah, just please bear with me tonight. We're going to get it fixed though. Addy Visorno, $5 super chat, says, Redskins are the first team to win a Super Bowl with a black quarterback, Doug Williams. That's right. That's absolutely true. Yep. In fact, Doug Williams, originally he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then they didn't want him anymore. He goes over to the Redskins, ends up taking over for, what's that guy? Jay Schrader. Okay? So he takes over for the starter, Jay Schrader, and then the Redskins go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. There you go. The Redskins have a lot of history. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Ray Lewis, 4 Super Bowl appearances and a lot of Hall of Fame guys. Yeah. Wow, Soren Well, welcome, man. He said, even in Germany, we learn about your state and we have a federal system too. Nice. Wow, I had no idea. I didn't know that they taught that in Germany. That's so cool, actually. But I'll say on the flip side of that, they did teach us about Nazi Germany. But I hear that they don't really teach a lot about Nazi Germany to German kids. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I've been told by several friends of mine. So, yeah. Which is stupid if that's the case, because if you don't know your history, if you don't know how bad things are, yeah, you repeat it. So, yeah, I don't get that, but whatever. Oh, Soren, yeah. You guys learn more about other countries than we do. Oh, definitely. Now, we have a world history class, but it's only 1 year, and 1 year to cover everything, the whole world history. I mean, so most teachers, they would focus on only certain aspects that they like, and then we'd miss out on a lot of stuff. So a lot of Americans, they don't even really know a lot about other cultures, other nations and stuff like that. So history is important, but people seem to not be, teaching it much. So anyway, I just was really annoyed by Shannon's position because it was so hypocritical. It was absolutely so hypocritical.
And then Skip was just like, yeah, you're right.
He was wrong talking about Al, what is it, Villanova or whatever, Nueva, and this whole agreement on, I thought they were always controversial, but in this case, they both had to take the same position. And
no, they're only controversial if it doesn't include something with the political agenda of what's going on at the time. The red coat, Jason Patrick Saunders, back with another super chat, £5. He says, if Shannon Sharp thinks what Villanueva did was wrong, then he is a damn traitor and needs a slap. Yeah. There's so many people that they could put on those lists. So many. Kids who have been killed. Of course, military is always a good choice. Even cops. Cops just doing their job, okay? I know they're trying to make it sound like cops are all evil. It's not the case, okay? But yeah, those are all good. I think they're all good. So any of those names would work. Yes, Michael Stiller. Yeah, there was a basketball team called the Bullets. It's actually now the Washington Wizards. So I don't know what they're talking about. I just saw that. Yeah. But yeah, they changed the name from Bullets because of bullets. A gun stuff became a hot topic a few decades ago, and that's why they're now the Wizards. So
yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm not I'm just catching up in the chat, seeing what all y'all talking about. See if there's any questions. Who lied about COVID-19? Did I miss something? Or
I think Soren's having this conversation with how German, whatever country he's from, I think his Germany is better, and we know nothing, and then things like that. I just don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Talking about who are doing a pissing contest, which economy they're richer and things like that. I saw little notes there. I'm like,
I mean, yeah, I mean,
whatever.
when you're in control of the entire European Union, I guess that's a pretty damn big economy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, even when you're bankrupting Greece.
Yeah, and we don't have a defense budget.
Who doesn't have a defense budget?
Well, Germany.
Oh, you mean those countries?
Germany, the European nations which are protected by our defense budget, right?
And things like that.
Yeah, it
but
depends
it's like
on-
I said, it's a huge discussion.
It depends on which
and-
country. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's for a different channel.
Just seems like a bit of a pissing contest there that I didn't take much interest in that conversation.
Yeah. COVID is COVID. Everybody had a problem with it that tried to do something about it. I did notice though how COVID seemed to be more or worse off in countries that were in election years or had something political at stake. I'm in Bulgaria right now, in a country where no one gives a flying shit about COVID.
Oh yeah.
And no one has. I remember they tried to remember Melanie, when they tried to implement the 5,000 leva fine for a mask. Yeah, that lasted all but like what, 5 days? Yeah. Bulgarians are like, yeah, screw you. Okay. Every day we go out and do our thing. Here it's like no different. The only thing that you'll notice is that food service workers wear a mask around their mouth, not around their nose usually, but around their mouth. And that's, of course, for a European Union mandate. For the most part, no one really cares about it here. Doesn't mean that it's not here. It's here, clearly, somewhere. But it just depends on if you scare your populace, if you have an agenda to scare your population. And in Bulgaria, there's been no political usefulness for COVID.
Economical, there has been, I think. But
And economical, it's actually been good for Bulgaria because people are going out to eat and shopping. So it just depends.
I think everybody's using COVID for their own agendas. So I've seen all kinds of things.
Okay, when it comes to COVID, the truth
I
is,
don't even wanna.
it's just something that we've got to deal with, and blaming everybody is ridiculous. So
Yeah, but I think people wanted to go back to football.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
I agree.
So let's get on to week 2 games, maybe, or whatever other.
But just one more thing. Shout out to Jason Patrick Saunders. As a British guy, I showed Milena England's last speech at the European Union on the way out by Neil Farage with the waving the little British flags. That was probably one of the best mic drop moments I've ever seen in my life. That speech,
Oh yeah.
that has got to go down in history. Okay, that was the best, most badass way to leave that I've ever seen. Now, it's no secret that I am anti-European Union. I always have been. I love Germany. I love the country. I think it's awesome. I've visited there. It's very cool. Great history, everything. Well, except for, a few blips on the radar. But Germany's very old, so you can't judge Germany by, a few decades of issues. But I don't like the European Union, and there's a difference. So, yes, Tampa Bay versus Carolina. Okay, This is where the ship gets righted, people. All right? Tom, if you guys don't think that Tom has been paying attention to what people are saying, listen, we know that Tom says the right things and the Patriot way type talk, and he even did it this week. But he knows. He watches it. And as we know, you don't wake a sleeping giant. And my God, the amount of focus that's going to be this week. And then what I really liked was I saw Mike Evans' press conference, and he took total responsibility for what he did wrong. Absolutely. Okay. Now on Sunday we saw him on the field, getting into it with people and losing his temper and stuff. I think some of that had to do with, one, Saints defense is so good that they were smothering him. Two, he was injured. He had a hamstring injury, so he wasn't getting off the line of scrimmage, and he wasn't getting out there and making cuts like he normally can. And that frustrates you. Okay? And three, he admitted it. He said because he was injured, he didn't think he was going to play. He hadn't been in sync with the game plan with Tom as much as the other guys. So Mike Evans admitted this much. And the way he said it, he really seemed legitimately positive about it. He wasn't making it as an excuse. He was saying it in a different way. He was saying it like Tom would say it, like it's okay. It was my fault. I was a little bit injured, wasn't, but it's fine. Like his attitude was very good about it. And I'm telling you, they worked on that. They worked on it. Tomorrow it's going to be good. It's going to be a good game. So I'm not going to say a blowout because, Carolina Panthers have Christian McCaffrey. One-man wrecking crew, that dude. So, him and Derrick Henry, those two running backs, you got those guys, you got a chance. So I'm not going to predict a blowout or anything like that, but I am going to predict a much better performance. Although getting ready for the Panthers is a little tricky because they got a new head coach and there's only 1 week of game film on them. So you have to go back to college and for that coach's tendencies. And then you don't even know how much of that is going to really be in effect. As for the Patriots going to Seattle, again, I'll say that is going to be a tough game. And if the Patriots win that game, that is going to be a statement right there. I don't expect them to win. I've got Seattle marked as winning that game. I had them marked as winning that game. I'll be honest with you, I probably would have picked Seattle even if Tom was still there. So, just because of the situation. But yeah. I did, Soren, I did pick them to beat the Saints. You said you didn't, but I did. But looking back on it, I will admit, I think that was wishful thinking. I think that when I said that I let my excitement and, my fandom of Tom get in the way of my what's supposed to be non-biased evaluation and analysis. I knew the Saints were a better team. I knew it. And I'd even said that myself, before. And I still ended up saying that the Bucs are going to win. Why would I do that? In New Orleans? Come on. So, yeah, I probably picked with my heart more than my head. But that is the reason why I don't bet anymore, but I used to bet on games, and I refused to bet on the Patriots games. I would not bet on the Patriots because I knew I could be, I just didn't want to mess with that, So I also didn't want the Patriots to lose and then me win a bunch of money and then feel guilty about it. That would suck. So, but I'm not gonna let that happen again. So I was just excited about the new season and everything happening, but I do expect a victory tomorrow for the Bucks, and I expect a loss for the Pats. But again, if they beat the Seahawks on the road, that is a statement right there. So, and even if the Bucks beat the Panthers, it's not going to shut people up. You guys remember last year, okay? And I'm sure if you're a Patriots fan, you'll definitely remember this. But last year, do you remember when they started the season? What was it, like 7-8-0? What did everybody say? Oh, they haven't played a good team yet. Wait until they play a good team. So they couldn't get credit. They couldn't win for anything. And then they lost one game to the Ravens, which was a very good game, I thought. And then they lost one game against the Ravens, who ended up having the MVP on their team. And all of a sudden it was, see, the Patriots suck. They cannot win no matter what. Tom is the same way. He can't win. If they destroy the Panthers tomorrow, even if they just annihilate them, what are they going to say? Well, they lost when they played a good team, but when they played a crappy team, they won. So Tom, that didn't really prove anything. Okay? And if Tom loses, if the Bucks lose to the Panthers, God forbid, oh, it's over. It's over. I mean, you will never hear the end of it. They have to win tomorrow. They absolutely have to beat the Panthers. There's no question about it. So, no question about it. Yes, Addie. Addie's such an ass. You had hope and you got disappointed. Yes, Addie. I was like you. I had hope and my dreams were crushed. It wasn't all bad because the Patriots won, but I did want to see Tom go out there firing and kicking ass, and I didn't get to see that. So, but yes, I had hope and was disappointed, but hey, maybe tomorrow will be better. So, Minshew Magic or Dreadlock King Henry? Man, I love Gardner Minshew. Okay? I'm calling it now. Hall of Fame, baby. Hall of Fame. Gardner Minshew. Okay? Because if you cannot get into the Hall of Fame based on stats, he's going to get in based on contributor because of his mustache. Okay? Nobody has a look that says, I don't give a crap about anything as much as Gardner Minshew. Yeah. All right? This dude, I mean, some people try to pull that off. They try to pull that look off or that attitude off, and you could tell they're faking it. It's absolutely natural to this guy. Did you know he walked around his college campus in his underwear with Jack Daniels inside his underwear band? I mean, yeah, he's a crazy dude. Okay, Tyree, thank you for mentioning that. I completely forgot about Philip, but there was something I saw the other day. Let me check. Yeah, I see you guys talking about the European Union. I've been trying to lobby Bulgaria to leave the Union and follow Great Britain. I doubt it's going to work though. Milena, you got to help me out. These are your people. You got to convince them.
Oh no. For some countries, might be better. I don't know. Long discussion again.
Well, with Philip and Indianapolis, I'm actually, okay, I'm not a Colts fan. My sister is. My sister is a huge Colts fan. Don't ask me how that happened. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. But we don't talk about it in the family. But yeah. But I like Phillip Rivers, and I want to see him do good. And that Colts team was built for Andrew Luck, actually. Jacoby Brissett, I thought, did a pretty damn good job there. So there's something there to work with. But Phillip is in the same boat as Tom and Cam and Teddy Bridgewater and those guys. New team, new everything. Everything is different. It's going to take some time. The Colts, they've got the Vikings coming in. The Vikings got beat down by the Green Bay Packers last week. Total beat down. So, but at least it's in Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers can still play. Okay, I know he's got an ugly throwing form. I know that. I know it's terrible. It's the worst throwing form I've ever seen, but it gets the job done. So he's won a lot of games, thrown for a lot of stats. I don't know. I'm one of these people, I don't want to count out the older quarterbacks. These guys, when they have something to prove, and that's why I said that beware of Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, because when you combine a good head coach with a good defense and a quarterback who's pissed off and wanting to show everybody that they're still good, that's a combination for a very dangerous team. And I feel that way about Phillip, too. I think that he will try to prove something. I remember when Brett Favre went from the Packers to the Jets, and he wanted to prove something to everybody. And up until he got injured, he played pretty damn good. And then when he got to Minnesota, we all know, I think he had his best season he's ever had in Minnesota his first year. So I think Phillip can get it figured out. But again, no preseason. Tomorrow's not going to prove anything. We're going to need a few more weeks. We're going to need to, let's look at week 4. When we see what happens in week 4, and then we can start, saying this team's great. This team's looking like they're going to the Super Bowl. That kind of talk and all that stuff. But we need more. We need to see more. There's just not enough. So. So what do we got going on in the chat now?
Not much.
You have no idea how bad I'm wanting to join this political conversation.
Yeah, but it's like a long.
You have no idea how badly I want to talk about this European Union thing, but this is not the place for it. I just want to jump into this because it's so interesting. I love stuff like this. Of course, you guys know I'm going for a degree in this exact thing, international politics and European Union integration. So that is actually right in my wheelhouse. So I just love it, talking about it. But I see that's going pretty strong there. So. Yeah, Sorry, Michael Stiller. Russia is accepting membership. Yeah. Yeah, they're like, come on in. We've got a union for you. Remember it? Yeah. That was pretty funny. Sorry. Really? Ouch. You calling Phillip Rivers Sam Bradford? Damn, dude. Come on. That's harsh. I'm not saying that Phillip is going to be like MVP. I'm just saying that I still think you got to be aware of an older quarterback who thinks that nobody believes in him anymore. We're not, that doesn't really apply to like journeyman quarterbacks and backup career backups, but when you got a guy who's started for so long and has been pretty damn good, yeah, you got to remember with Phillip. Phillip is like Brady, okay, in the way that he's been around so damn long that there's not much that Phillip hasn't seen as far as defense and, the way people are going to attack his offense. So he's got that going for him. Now, whether he computes the information well or that's different, okay? Nobody's like Brady in that sense, except maybe Peyton, Montana, guys like that. But Phillip has seen a lot of football, and so if he can get that fixed, it's just, we'll see. But to say that he's Sam Bradford, that's pretty damn harsh, dude. Ouch. Addie, how's that 8-set game by the football team? You mean the Washington football team? Such a good football team. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, it was awesome, but was that more about the football team or was it more about Carson Wentz holding on to the damn ball forever? What is that dude's deal? Maybe a little bit of both. I usually like complimenting the defense more than I do blaming the quarterback or the offense because I think defense doesn't get enough credit. Like when things go good for a quarterback, but when things go bad, they say the quarterback sucked, and that nobody ever mentions the defense, good or bad. They just say it's like they don't exist, and the defense is out there, and their job is to make the quarterback's life a living hell. That's the whole point. But for some reason, we don't mention it enough. So the one thing I do like about the football team, though, is that Alex Smith is back. I know he's not going to play. I don't expect him to play. But it's just cool that he's back. So that's good for him. Nightwalker. Football team wins the Super Bowl. That would sound weird. Yes, it would.
Hopefully a football team did, not something else. Not like a figure skating team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, credit to them. Good for them. But again, I wouldn't put too much into it after one game. Not in this year. Not this year. For anything, I wouldn't say that game means Carson Wentz sucks, and I wouldn't say that game means that the Redskins defense is amazing. Who knows? We don't know. So, but yeah, I hope Tom dominates tomorrow. Tyree, as far as Carson Wentz being a bust, yeah, I believed that way before this. Sunday had nothing to do with my feelings one way or another about Carson. I already had that feeling about him. That goes back to last year, maybe even the year before. So. I just want to let you guys know that. So, from now on, like we did last week, so we're going to have a post-game show after the games tomorrow night. And that show is going to be brought to you by me and Shaq. And Milena will be involved in the show, just not on camera. But Shaq will be joining me, so it'll be the Aaron and Shaq post-game report. So don't forget about that. And by the way, because we never know when the games are going to finish, like what times, I can't give you an exact time, but it will be within about a short amount of time after the game is over, the last game, the Pats game. So football team wins Super Bowl, earning title of best football team. But yeah, so we're gonna sign off. We've been I've been rambling here for about almost 3 hours. So thank you guys for tonight. All the super chats are amazing. Welcome to all the new people that I've not seen here before. I really hope you subscribe and stick around. We have a lot planned for this season, and a lot of interesting, cool things. It's just taken a little longer than we expected. But like we know, this year is anything but normal. So have a good night. Thank you all so much. Enjoy tomorrow, and go Patriots, go Bucks. Let's do this. Go Addies, Cleveland Browns, even though they've already played on Thursday night. I'm just going to say it for Addie. Go Browns. As he likes to say, dog check. Thank you guys so much. You are awesome. Chad, congrats on your Saints victory. You have a great, great football team there. You should be excited. So, talk to y'all later. Good night.